Hello guys, today I want to talk about WAEC. Back in the day, WAEC was and still is one of the most important milestone. You can say educational milestone. If you want to excel educationally at home. So it used to be actually one of the most difficult exams to pass. Don't even talk about JAMB, because back in the day, you had to pass WAEC to even stand a chance of sitting for JAMB. Nowadays, you will see relatives, friends, and close acquaintances, like children of WAEC age, maybe 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and thereabout. They will sit for WAEC and then they will come out in flying colors. Some of them with 9 A's, 8 A's, A parallel. Scores A1 in chemistry, A1 in physics, A1 in mathematics and further mathematics, and English, and you name it. This same person, few months later, sits for JAMB and scores below 200. There is no way you can convince me that someone who has just made A's in WAEC, who have just passed all his subjects in WAEC with distinction, there is no way that person is going to make or should make in JAMB. It just doesn't add up. So I inquired to find out exactly what was amiss, what is going on. The issue of exam malpractice has been rampant. It has always been there at home. Don't get me wrong, it didn't start today. But now it has gotten to the point now whereby it has become a big problem. It's going to be very difficult for us to fix anything at home. Very difficult. It's almost impossible. When I sit down and discuss with friends and the family on how it is going to be impossible to fix the problems we have at home, they usually tend to call me a pessimist. But when you look at the evidence at hand and on ground, you see that exactly there is nothing that we can do to remedy the situation. Otherwise, how can it be that someone who just made 9 A's in WAEC is not able to score more than 200 in JAMB? Miracle no dey tire Jesus, abi. So the story is that in some of these examination centers, the answers to the WAEC questions are actually written on the chalkboard as if they are being taught in a normal classroom situation. So students no longer write their own answers. Students no longer are not expected to pass their own WAEC by their own hard work and their effort. Machineries are now hired into examination centers, into our secondary schools, to write down the answers on the chalkboard for the students to now copy. And that's the reason why everybody's making A's, but they can't pass JAMB. And that's the reason why in that place nothing is ever going to get better. Because when you look at the problem from the root cause level, from the grassroots level, you will see that the problems are actually humongous and almost impossible to solve. Because for you to solve the problem at the macro level, you need to be able to deal with it at the micro level. And what is the micro level? The micro level is at the grassroots of our education, which is WAEC, which is common entrance, which is JAMB. If you don't get those right, forget about it. The education system, the education setup, it will never get better. Quote me on that. It will never get better, because the rot is deep-rooted. The rot is deep-rooted. It's almost impossible to even proffer solutions, because the kids have gotten used to not putting in effort, but they've passed WAEC. They've gotten used to not putting in enough effort, but they will come through and pass and come back with a WAEC result that is excellent. So it's become something that I personally don't know how to, proffer the solution to. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. How can you pass WAEC so easily, but you don't even score reasonably in JAMB? There's a disconnect right there. There's a disconnect. I also heard that in some schools, especially the missionary schools and some, because of course you're going to have exceptions in every situation. But in some schools that the students are actually made to study, they really take these exams and pass them by merit. But that's not what the majority of the case is. Those are the exceptions. How do you think this problem can be nipped in the bud? How do you think it can be nipped in the bud? This is no longer your normal exam malpractice situation. This is something extraordinarily negative. How do you think this problem can be made to go away? How do you think you can solve it? If you are made in charge of the educational system at home, how are you going to solve this problem? Thank you very much for watching.